Hi, I'm Nancy Eisenman, and I am a life coach on staff with Jerry Wise Relationship Systems. And I thought I would talk a little bit today about codependency and a quick way that you can find out if what you're about to do or what you have just done is on that codependent radar, right? So if I do this, if I say this, will I be being codependent? Or now that I've done this, and was I being codependent with that? And there's a quick question that you can ask yourself in order to kind of start you on the path towards thinking about, was I really indeed being codependent there? And so I thought I'd share that with you today. And so the one question codependency test. So here is the question. Now that I've done this, or if I do this, will I feel resentment? And so resentment is the feeling that lets us know when we've been doing something or if we're about to do something codependent. So, for example, when we are doing something codependent, we're entering into a trade. We're trying to trade someone attention, acceptance, understanding, something like that, in exchange for us doing something for them. So the analogy I might use might be something like this. Patty down at the PTA, she screwed up and she didn't bake enough cookies for the bake sale, and she didn't ask enough people to take care of all the cookies that we need for the bake sale tomorrow. And so Patty calls up good old Nancy and says, Nancy will help me. I'll call her up and I'll say, hey, Nancy, I screwed up. I'm 12 dozen cookies short for the bake sale tomorrow. Can you help me out? And now if I'm going to enter into some codependency, I might say, you know what? Yeah, Patty, I'll take care of all 12 dozen. Don't worry about it. I'll have them there first thing in the morning. No problem. And so then I stay up all night and I'm cooking 12 dozen cookies. You know, I had to go to the grocery store and get a whole bunch of groceries that were, $100 worth of groceries. And then I stayed up all night making all these cookies. And I show up out of breath and panting at 8 o'clock the next morning at the school with my 12 dozen cookies, and I hand them to Patty. And Patty says, oh my gosh, you're such a lifesaver. You're just the best mom in the whole school. And my little heart just beams, and I'm just so pleased that she sees what a great mom and what a great helper I am. Well, I subconsciously and inadvertently entered into a trade with Patty. And so let's just say, for the sake of argument then, that Patty says, I show up with my cookies, and Patty goes, okay, I'll just put them over here, and then walks away. She doesn't say thank you. She doesn't dote. She doesn't say how great I am and how much I saved her butt. And now I'm feeling a little resentment because she has such bad manners, and she didn't give me what I really wanted, which was that acceptance and that attention. I feel resentment because I was entering into codependency with Patty. So when I think about the Bowen phrase enmeshment, that term enmeshment, the most simple way I can think of to spot enmeshment is by putting this kind of a statement on it. I am okay if you think I'm okay. I'm a good mother if Patty thinks I'm a good mother and tells me so. I am blank if you think I'm blank, and now we're enmeshed. We're tied together. And now my okayness depends on you and what you think and say. And now we're enmeshed. We're tied together. Differentiation is the opposite of that. Being differentiated is being able to say, I am who I am, whether Patty says so or not. So now we look at the same scenario. Patty calls me up the night before the bake sale, and she says, hey, I need 12 dozen cookies. I screwed up. And I can ask myself, what am I willing to give in this situation without feeling any resentment? Okay, let me think. I have the stuff in the cupboard to make 2 dozen cookies, and I'm happy to help out. And I would choose to do that of my own volition. And so I tell Patty, sure, Patty, I'll be happy to make you 2 dozen cookies, and I'll have them there tomorrow morning. And Patty says, oh, please, 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 can you do more than that? Can you do? No, I really can't, because if I do more than that, I'm going to have resentment, because it's going to affect my evening adversely, and then I'm going to feel these feelings of like, oh, I'm just doing too much. I'm giving too, and I'm freaking Patty. And so resentment is that thing that lets me know. And it's my job to make sure that I'm not letting resentment build in my heart for other people. And so resentment is a very good litmus test for, am I being codependent? And it keeps me, when I can project forward and say, oh, I'm going to feel resentment if I make more than 2 dozen cookies. And so I'm going to say no. That keeps me on the straight and narrow and not being codependent with Patty. And now I might have a voice in my head, if I'm codependent, and I might have that voice that says, okay, well, if I don't do this, Patty's going to be mad at me. And she's not going to think I'm a very good mom, and she's going to be upset, whatever. If I'm codependent, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about how Patty's going to feel about me, how she's going to see me. And if I'm more differentiated, I can say, I am legitimately giving what I am willing to give, and it is enough. And I don't have to worry about how Patty takes it. She can see me however she wants to see me. She's going to anyway. And I don't need her to think that I'm awesome in order to feel like I am contributing what I'm willing to contribute. And then I maintain that peace, and I don't have resentment for Patty. So that resentment question becomes the question that lets me know, okay, if I do this, or if she doesn't give me what I want in return, am I going to feel resentment about that? And so that's a very, very quick and easy way to assess for yourself, am I about to be codependent, or now that I dropped off the 12 dozen cookies and she didn't give me what I want, now I feel resentment. Oh, yeah, I was expecting some kudos in return for that, wasn't I? And she didn't give me those, but she never agreed to give me those. And so I was looking for my okayness to come through Patty's interaction with me. That's codependency. And so that's a really quick, kind of down and dirty way of just saying, okay, let's do the resentment test, the one question codependency test. Will I feel resentment if I do this? Or now that I've done this, am I feeling resentment? Resentment lets me know that something codependent is happening, something enmeshed is going on, and my okayness is dependent on somebody else and what they're doing or not doing, or saying or believing or not saying or believing. And so that's just a really quick way to kind of figure that out and say, all right, I don't want to feel that resentment, and I don't want to make Patty responsible for my feelings of being okay. So I'm going to decide what I'm really willing to give and just give that. And when I'm able to do that and be authentically me, I feel peaceful and I don't feel resentment. And so there you go. There's the one question codependency test. So I hope that was helpful for you. And I am actually on staff with Jerry Wise Relationship Systems. And so if you'd like to work with me with coaching and finding more of those places of like, oh, is this codependency? And how can I handle this differently? Because I don't like how that feels to be codependent, and I want to be able to be stronger and more myself. So those are all things that we can talk about in coaching sessions. And so I'm happy to work with you on your codependency recovery. And so yeah, hopefully you got a little value and a really quick little trick to kind of figure out, is this a codependent thing that I'm doing? So, all right, I'll leave you with that, and be well. Thanks. Bye-bye.